All right, thank you for joining us today. It's Ranty Wilberforce here with William. Say hello, William.
Hi. Yeah.
Thank you, William. All right, we are at the Alcove here in Evanston, Illinois. It's a cute little cool bar up here. We're just gonna check it out inside here. It just kind of popped up out of nowhere. We were driving by the other day and thought it was pretty excellent. So we're here to meet Mrs. McPherson. We're gonna be inside here. How are you? Check this place out. Excellent, old school. It's got a great feel to it. You just kind of sink into this place. So we were just driving by the other day, noticed the place, and it just really stood out compared to other bars that we've been to in town. And it's very cozy. And when do you guys open up over here?
We've been open about a year.
About a year? Excellent. Now, how late do you guys open? When do you guys open up?
We're open Tuesday through Saturday, 4 to 11.
Tuesday through Saturday, 4 to 11. Excellent. Now, what's your name, sir?
My name's Scott.
Scott? Pleasure to meet you, Scott.
Nice to meet you.
Excellent. So, what's your cocktail of choice here?
We do a lot of
I got a beer.
martinis in Manhattan.
Martinis, Manhattan?
That kind of thing.
I might have to start there next time. I'm starting with a beer right now. We're gonna see. We're waiting around Mrs. McPherson, so we're gonna.
Oh,
Hello,
hello.
Mrs. McPherson, I presume.
Yes, yes,
Renton.
yes. I think we met at the Owen Society.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Thank you for joining us today. I have a seat here.
Well, I was wondering whose cards I was reading because this is not my layout here. This is not my reading.
How do you mean?
I am not someone on the initiate's path. You are an apprentice in search of a sorcerer.
Never really thought that, but I suppose yes.
Yes,
What I'm doing.
this is you.
The fool.
This is the fool.
Okay.
He's a baby getting started out. Shall I tell you the story, or?
In a moment, I wanted to ask one question really quickly about. I wanted to ask you about Rosicrucians. And since you are a member of the Old Society, I just wanted to know what you knew about them and if you could elaborate a little more about them, because I'm a little vague as to what they're all about, I suppose.
It's a secret society that began in the Middle Ages. My understanding is that it has roots in Egypt and amongst the ancient Arabic philosophers. It is said to have influenced Masonic thought. I would have to say that my dear late husband was Scottish Rite Masons, and I believe that some of it is flavored into the rites. Not that I would know, except that some of the meetings were held at our house, and I was in the very next room, and they got quite vehement and excitable during their ceremonies.
Okay.
But let that be as it may. I don't think that I know any Rosicrucians personally, however.
Okay. Well, how about Marius? You interact with him quite regularly, once a month at least, yeah?
Oh, yes.
What could you tell me about him?
Well, I think I can tell you he is not a Rosicrucian.
Okay.
I can tell you, however, that he is quite accomplished and well-versed in many branches of the occult.
That's what I've read. I have been reading his book, actually, over and over, and that's my primary source of study is from this. And so I was hoping to get a little more info about him today, because I'm reading this book and it takes place in the Victorian age, which is really starting to trip me out, I would say. it's very interesting. So I was just curious what he was like, and I want to get to know him personally. Do you think a meeting with him would be possible, or as you said?
Well, first, I think time is more flexible than perhaps you are aware, and I think that a meeting with him will be possible. However, I think you must find the right way to come on to him.
I understand.
You made a bit of a scene at the last Owen Society.
I did. I didn't mean to. I know. Thanks. Okay. Well, I think you're very wise. I think you're very correct. And you were talking about a second ago about the cards. How I was the fool, I guess you would say.
Well, actually, I believe the entire reading is about you, because as I looked it over, I realized this truly is the initiate, which does not particularly correspond to myself, although I am present in the reading. This begins with you on your knees begging what appears to be a charlatan who is going off with your money. You may have been in the hands of some insincere teachers in the past.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
However, here in the place of heart and emotion, we have you faced with Chiron, the wounded healer, a very knowledgeable entity who is blessing you and telling you to come through the door and be taught. So you are on the brink, you are on the threshold now. And I am here communicating this to you. Now, over here is Narcissus. This is another aspect of yourself, with the double-edged message, either that you are perhaps a little self-involved, you are a very young man. The other possibility being that you must delve within and truly learn about yourself before simply dashing off and being fooled by
Jumping
those
right
who-
into something and
Precisely.
taking advantage of it. And I gotcha.
Because here you begin the actual voyage into the unconscious. This is Psyche entering
Okay.
the underworld to do what must be done.
Okay.
And here, the great sacrifice is made. Here the image is Prometheus, but he is sacrificing himself in order to do what is good and right, himself unto himself, rather like here, I laugh. This actually makes me think of Marius, the devil card, where you are facing your own dark side. Because if, for instance, Marius takes you on as an apprentice, he will make you face your own dark side. And he has a quite broad dark streak himself. And yet by facing it, if you overcome it and learn how to channel it well, you will truly grow in the mystic ways. And here you are, the fresh young beginner,
Yes.
ready. Does this make sense to you?
Yes, in more ways than I thought it would. Yes, this is very much about me. This was you laid this out before you got here. This is amazing.
What kind of rums are
I knew
all?
it wasn't about you, so I'm glad to know that it was about you.
Yeah, I've never had a
looking
reading.
for someone else to come in through the door.
Kentucky rum, it's not Barbados
I
rum.
hope to
Well, we are in a public place, you never
But
know.
it's Puerto Rican.
That's true.
It's a light
But
rum.
this is hitting close to home. This is
So there's not a lot of Alaska.
more than I could have possibly imagined. Thank you for meeting me. Thank
My
you.
pleasure.
This was a great pleasure. Cheers to you, and cheers to the advancement of how this. I don't even know what to say. Cheers, though. Thank you so much.
Know thyself.
Know thyself. All right, so Mrs. McPherson, the Alcove. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. You guys have a wonderful evening. Thank you for joining.